shade's not too bad. It's very in keeping with the garden. We already, so I got the article up online. I believe I sent it to it's going to be in our unit as well. And then these photos today, I'll get up on social media. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Very good. Yep. I'll be here. Yay.
Yes. Okay, so you're right? Yeah. Oh, you're not? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you can just stay right here. Right there, nice. I love it like that. That's great. Hold on. 1 second. Last couple. Are you baking there a little bit? Maybe hands only. There. Look at the gardens over there. Got it. Good. Yeah, you have an AC?
Yeah, you can be wherever you'd like to be. Wherever you'd like to be. All right. And not too loud. This is the linen, so this is fine. That would be a little bit
This is 10 years ago. Oh yay! Oh yay! Oh yay! Ladies, gentlemen, visitors and good citizens of Alexandria, within the sound of my voice, gather close and pay heed to my words. Be it known that we gather on this 23rd day of July to dedicate this garden walkway for the enjoyment of passers-by. On the occasion of her birthday, after a short program when we are done, these gardens we dedicated in memorial for S. Wilson. As a mother, a model, and businesswoman of great renown, she and Julie created businesses to celebrate the ball gown. And so today, after the ribbon cutting and the Ladybug Release, these gardens will be a place of calm and a place of peace. The donations raised in Brenda's name will help many a cat and many a dog, and help many animals find new homes and reduce the adoption backlog. Therefore, we thank the Animal Welfare League of Alexandria for honoring Brenda in this way. For these gardens will mean more to these new families than words can say. I thank you all for coming on this beautiful Saturday morning. And in honor of Brenda, I give you a solemn 3-bell ring. God bless Brenda S. Wilson, Alexandria, and these United States. Cheers.
Well, a very warm good morning to everyone. Everybody's comfortable, and just let me remind you to put those phones on silence while we're doing this dedication, if you don't mind, please. I mean, I just remembered to do my own. So Brenda had me when they said ball gowns. I was like, yeah, I mean, my type of girl. So what a great celebration we're having here today. And for those of you obviously aware of the animal shelter here and what the incredible work they do, not only for our four-legged friends, but our two-legged friends. I'm a rescue as well. I rescue my dogs as well. So it's so important that the good work that is being done here continues. So it strives and grows through your dedication, whether that be financially, whether that be donations to the shelter in food, clothing, towels, or anything. So it's so very important. And how very appropriate to have it on Brenda's birthday. Somebody that loved these. So as you look around these great fields and the paths, and you'll see the butterflies and the ladybugs, let's take a moment to reflect, not only for those that have gone ahead of us, but those that are with us now that continue to do such great work. Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning. Excuse me?
Morning.
That's more like it. That's more like it. My name is Charlie Wood. I'm the pastor of Mount Calvary Community Church, and I was so honored to oversee the officiant at the funeral service, the celebration of life for Brenda. So what I want to do is kind of begin and just read a few words from that program and give you just a slight bit of background for those of you that may not know. Brenda Wilson was born on July 23rd, 1947, and went to be with the Lord on September the 4th, 2021. Today, Brenda would have been 75 years old. Brenda was born in Roanoke, Virginia, and grew up in Maryland, graduating from Catonsville High School. And she competed in the Miss America Beauty pageant. Brenda graduated from the John Robert Powers Modeling Academy. Her fashion career consisted of photographic and runway modeling. She attended Strayer Business College and had a career spanning over 35 years in the medical field. Brenda and her daughter created a ballroom dance dress company called Encore Ballroom, a ballroom dress cleaning company called the Dress Spa, and a charity program benefiting Walter Reed National Military Medical Center called Toppers for Troopers, a donation program benefiting a youth dance charity program called Gold Stars, and a seasonal fashion editorial called Hairpins to Hemlines. She was an avid tennis player and co-captained 2 tennis teams. She managed a tennis flight at the local athletic clubs. She was a member for over 30 years. Brenda was a member of the Henry Clay chapter of the National Society of Daughters of American Revolution and Martha Washington chapter of the Order of Eastern Stars. It is so nice to have her daughter here today, her only daughter, and sometimes they say that the only child is spoiled. Never. Julie epitomized super spoiled. So I will leave you with that today. Julie?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Hello to everyone. Thank you so much for coming today and celebrating this special occasion. When I was a little girl, my mother would always read me a bedtime story. And this was our favorite story. It's called The Rose in My Garden. It's by Arnold Lobel. And I just wanted to briefly share it. It's a short children's story. This is the rose in my garden. This is the bee that sleeps on the rose in my garden. These are the hollyhocks high above ground that give shade to the bee that sleeps on the rose in my garden. These are the marigolds, orange and round, that stand by the hollyhocks high above ground that give shade to the bee that sleeps on the rose in my garden.
These are the zinnias, straight in a row, that grow near the marigolds, orange and round, that stand by the hollyhocks high above ground, that give shade to the bee that sleeps on the rose in my garden. These are the daisies, white as the snow, that border the zinnias straight in a row, that grow near the marigolds, orange and round, that stand by the hollyhocks high above ground, that give shade to the bee that sleeps on the rose in my garden. These are the bluebells with petals like lace, that shelter the daisies as white as the snow, that border the zinnias straight in a row, that grow near the marigolds, orange and round, that stand by the hollyhocks high above ground, that give shade to the bee that sleeps on the rose in my garden. These are the lilies of elegant grace, that lean toward the bluebells with petals like lace, that shelter the daisies as white as the snow, that border the zinnias straight in a row, that grow near the marigolds, orange and round, that stand by the hollyhocks high above ground, that give shade to the bee that sleeps on the rose in my garden. These are the peonies, pleasingly plump. They are close to the lilies of elegant grace, that lean toward the bluebells with petals like lace, that shelter the daisies as white as the snow, that border the zinnias straight in a row, that grow near the marigolds, orange and round, that stand by the hollyhocks high above ground, that give shade to the bee that sleeps on the rose in my garden. These are the pansies, placed in a clump, that crowd all the peonies, pleasingly plump, that are close to the lilies of elegant grace, that lean toward the bluebells with petals like lace, that shelter the daisies as white as the snow, that border the zinnias straight in a row, that grow near the marigolds, orange and round, that stand by the hollyhocks high above ground, that gives shade to the bee who sleeps on the rose in my garden. These are the tulips, sturdy and tall, that circle the pansies placed in a clump, that crowd all the peonies, pleasingly plump, that are close to the lilies of elegant grace, that lean toward the bluebells with petals like lace, that shelter the daisies as white as the snow, that border the zinnias straight in a row, that grow near the marigolds, orange and round, that stand by the hollyhocks high above ground, that give shade to the bee that sleeps on the rose in my garden. These are the sunflowers, tallest of all, thankful that mine have survived the day. So please enjoy them. That rise by the tulips, sturdy and tall, that circle the pansies placed in a clump, that crowd the peonies, pleasingly plump, that are close to the lilies of elegant grace, that shelter the daisies as white as the snow, that border the zinnias straight in a row, that grow near the marigolds, orange and round, that stand by the hollyhocks high above ground, that give shade to the bee that sleeps on the rose in my garden. This is the field mouse, shaking in fear, that hides by the sunflowers, tallest of all, that rise by the tulips, sturdy and tall, that circle the pansies placed in a clump, that crowd all the peonies, pleasingly plump, that are close to the lilies of elegant grace, that lean toward the bluebells with petals like lace, that shelter the daisies as white as the snow, that border the zinnias straight in a row, that grow near the marigolds, orange and round, that stand by the hollyhocks high above ground, that give shade to the bee that sleeps on the rose in my garden. This is the cat with the tattered ear, that chases the field mouse, shaking in fear. Plot thickens. That shudders the sunflowers, tallest of all, that shivers the tulips, sturdy and tall, that quivers the pansies placed in a clump, that pushes the peonies, pleasingly plump, that startles the lilies of elegant grace, that shatters the bluebells with petals like lace, that scatters the daisies as white as the snow, that rattles the zinnias straight in a row, that mangles the marigolds, orange and round, that tangles the hollyhocks high above ground, that gives shade to the bee, that wakes up on the rose in my garden. This is the rose in my garden. So he woke up, stung the cat, and he's out. So my mother read this to me nearly every single night, our favorite story. Thank you for letting me share it with you.
And hello, nice to see everyone here. You've been welcomed, and you know how wonderful this garden is for all the people that work here, the volunteers, the patrons, and reference has been made to the passerbys. In my second career as a retiree, I spent many, many years working in public gardens, and I know from the comments of the people in the communities how much it meant, how much pleasure it gave to see those gardens evolve, because each year they change, and to see them change through the seasons. This garden started with many plants. There were shrubs, there were trees, some lovely grasses and so forth, but it has definitely been enhanced. And you will see today many, many annuals. You have your plant list because of the season and because of this event, the beautiful color from all those annuals. But there are also many perennials here, and perennials, there's a word for them, a little adage, a little sentence that says, the first year they sleep, the second year they creep, and the third year they leap. And so the perennials that have been added to this garden over the years, like the phlox, will replicate what the daylilies have done. They will get bigger and bigger and be more dramatic. Also, this garden is a haven for another group of visitors, and that is all the native insects. There are a number of native plants in this garden which provide food for the native insects, which in turn provide food for the native birds. There is an organic garden. There are no pesticides used, so all the insects will be safe. I'll tell you one little story about the hummingbird, which I thought was interesting. We think of hummingbirds and we see the feeders and they come to the bright flowers for the nectar. But in the springtime, they are not nectar feeders. They are carnivores. And what they are eating, what we can't see, are the tiny little caterpillars that are part of the life cycle of a certain native insect. And they eat that because they need the protein to form the eggs, and then they need the protein to feed the baby hummingbirds. So it's really important to protect our insects, and we're going to invite a whole other group here today. Later in the exploration, as you walk up and down the gardens, if you have questions, I will try, but one of my standby aids, of course, is good old Google and the Missouri Botanical Gardens, sometimes Cornell. So those are my aids, and they help a great deal. Good to see you all.
I want to make sure that we're turned.
The mic is too close to the speaker.
How's this? Is this better? Let's see. Roseanne. For Walter.
May the good Lord be with you down every road you roam, and may sunshine and happiness surround you when you're far from home. Come with me and you'll be in the world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into my imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply turn around and view it. Anything you want, just do it. Want to change the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be forever young, forever young.
Well, I would like to give a little background information on the gardens, how it came about. During Mom's funeral, we had donations be directed to the Animal Welfare League of Alexandria. And after a few months had passed, I thought, wouldn't it be nice if we could do something in memory of Mom here, not with those donations, but with a gift from my father and I. And so I came and I met with Stella, who is the director here at the Animal Welfare League, and Michelle. And we sat down and we talked about some different options and ways that we could honor Mom. And my dad actually made the final decision of he would like to have a bench at the front, which this will be the bench. And if you know me, I can't just leave it alone at a bench. So what was just maybe a bench kind of blossomed into the front of the building. So we did a lot of things to kind of perk up the space. We did power washing on everything that you see. We painted the front of the building. We had a lot of city workers come and donate their time that they had, and they were able to help us with a lot of the stone work around the garden. And my intention when we started was, I don't know anything about gardening or planting or creating a garden, and so we contacted the Merrifield Garden Center and another local nursery, and they provided designers. They came out and we kind of talked with them, and then we ended up kind of not really sticking with that plan. And I remember one day a truck showed up and they said, okay, where do you want the plants? And I thought, I don't know where I want the plants. Don't you know where you want the plants? And so then I kind of took it on as a way of being creative, and so it just kind of grew. Almost every day I was loading up plants and bringing them here and having someone come the next day to plant. I'm not going to kid you, we planted this morning. I mean, it was up till, just right before you all arrived. The way that I kind of divide the garden up is zones. So down here we have the woodlands. So it's anchored by a beautiful pine tree. We have our magnolia. We have a lovely squirrel bench, squirrel nesting houses. The coral bells I thought were just beautiful. And all of the plants that we planted in the gardens are non-toxic to dogs or cats. That was really important. Then we move into the Pollinator's garden, which is pretty much everything that you see here. And some perennials, more perennials probably than annuals, but a good combo. Already we've seen a lot of butterflies and bees. We do have a bee house, which is right down there. We have a butterfly house, which is over here. And then we move into what I call on the green, which we have some beautiful nandinas. They're called lemon lime. When I went to the nursery, they just jumped out at me. So I love those lemon lime colors. We have some rabbits living in the hedge line, and we have some little lizards living at the front. I've met all the garden friends, including one snake, which Brooke decided to escort elsewhere. And then we go down into our tropical garden, which has beautiful lilies. It has red hot pokers, gorgeous hibiscus. Further, we go down into the berry patch, which has your blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, which the birds have. We've already been seeing the birds. They'll go up to the bush, take a blueberry, and run away really quick. Then we go into the rose garden, which has beautiful coral roses. And then at the very end is the aviary, which a lot of natural birds have started to come to. All of the plants and shrubs have berries that they can enjoy. So that's the garden. So all of the plants are listed inside your program. If you have any questions or if you would like for me to point anything out, I'd be more than happy to do so. So at this time, I would actually like to do a ladybug release, and the ladybugs are ready. So they're really important parts of the garden, and we have some issues with our hedge that the ladybugs need to get right on. So I have couple of containers. If you'd like to assist with doing it, it will take no time at all. If you don't want to, that's totally fine.
Julie.
See you. You want to release?
I do. I will.
Come on up. Step up to the hedge line.
Okay, very good.
Release and push to the ground.
Okay.
Hey, Julie. If I can just get a clear shot, I'm going to follow you
Oh,
so that everyone online can see it.
okay. Sure. So we just take them over to the hedge line.
Hey. Julie.
Is this some? Okay, so I did this. Okay, I'll be trying to do all of them. It's busy. Right. Okay, now, or like, no, I'll go.
Hello everyone, my name is Michelle. I am the development coordinator here at the AWLA. Thank you all for coming, especially with this heat. We commend you all for being here on such a special day. The heavenly birthday of Brenda S. Wilson. It's a very special day. It's been a labor of love these last couple of months. I've had the pleasure and honor of working with Julie with the Garden Project, and it's been quite an adventure on so many fun levels. I feel like we're a friend now. It really connected us. I got to meet other family members, Brooks and Walter, welcome. And I look forward to meeting the other family members here as well. Peggy, thank you so much. I know you were a big guidance, a big big help to Julie with all this, so thank you very much. One thing I just want to share is last Saturday night, after Julie you were probably here all day, into the night. It rained heavily for a good hour or two. It was really strong winds. We were worried about, what flowers might be not there on Monday when I come back. But what was beautiful with that rain, not only providing water for the grounds, a beautiful double rainbow occurred once the rains and the thunder stopped. Not only were there two rainbows, there was a lovely heart cloud in the middle. And if that doesn't speak to your mom being pleased and so proud of you and expressing all of her love for you, I don't know what else does. It was a beautiful, I woke up that Sunday morning to an email, and it was just so moving. Apparently, double rainbows have a lot of meanings. A rainbow is very applicable to the gardens, the rainbow of colors, of flowers, all here. Double rainbows represent transformation and spirit and faith, all very applicable to this. I just love how the double rainbow, your mom is one rainbow, and you and your family, Walter, your family, are the other, and the heart in the middle. This is beautiful. And it's been such an honor, again, working with you and meeting the various members that have brought into this project. City of Alexandria, wonderful, amazing staff, the family members, our volunteers. Dane in the background helped one day. Rosemary, you and Ann came out. We thank you for your guidance early on in the project. And of course, Stella has overseen all of this. You're doing amazing. always, no, no, not true. You do so much. So thank you, everyone, again, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the time in visiting the gardens. Oh, what? Oh my gosh, this is the picture of the double rainbow with the heart. Oh my gosh, Julie, thank you. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna put this up so everyone can see. This is what I was just talking about. So thank you, everyone, so much. And thank you, Julie. Thank you, Walter. Thank you all.
Right here.
Thank you.
I'm vertically challenged, so I usually have to turn microphones down. My name is Stella Hanley. I'm the Executive Director here at the Animal Welfare League of Alexandria. I did not have the pleasure of meeting Brenda, and I really wish I would have, because Julie, if she's anything like you, she must have been a force of nature, and we are so grateful for all that you have done. Our guard, or whenever I'm out in the community and I tell people where I work, one of the things that people always say is, how can you work there? It's so sad. And I really want people to know that it's not sad. And one of the things that we've tried to do is make our building more welcoming. And I don't think we could have done it any better than this beautiful garden. So hopefully people will see it's not a sad place. It's a place of regeneration, of next steps, of new homes. And so we are so, so grateful, Julie, for everything that you've done.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Aaliyah Gaskins, and I am a member of the Alexandria City Council, and I am so honored to be with you today. I, too, did not have the pleasure of getting to know Miss Brenda, but as I have been reading her bio, as I've gotten to speak with some of you, I have just been so moved by her heart, her kindness, and the ways in which she just radiated beauty in our community. I mean, I walked in here and all you could do was smile because you just felt so much joy, and you could just feel that radiating through the room. And I imagine that's what you felt every time you were in her presence. So on behalf of the city of Alexandria, I just want to read a quick proclamation, really dedicating today as Garden Day in Alexandria in her honor. So, whereas the city of Alexandria and its residents celebrate nature in all aspects, and pets and plant life are no exception to this admiration. And whereas Alexandrian Brenda S. Wilson embraced these kind, aforementioned practices, her generosity and gentleness as an example for all to emulate and admire. And whereas, with a bright and visible passion for life and demonstrated genuine care for all whom she met, Brenda Wilson, with origins in Arbutus, Maryland, enjoyed a storied career that stemmed from her graduation at Catonsville High School, where she met her beloved husband, Walter. And whereas, on her chosen professional path, she was a competitor in the Miss America beauty pageant, a runway and photographic model, and later on she attended Strayer Business College, which was followed by a 35-year career in the medical field. And whereas she and her husband together raised their daughter Julie, herself a professional ballroom dancer, with whom Miss Wilson founded the Encore Ballroom Couture, an internationally acclaimed consignment and rental dress company which serves clientele across the world. And whereas, addition to her aforementioned enterprises, Miss Wilson's philanthropic activities knew no bounds. Among these were Toppers for Troopers and a youth dance charity program, Gold Stars, and the Animal Welfare League of Alexandria. And these are but such a few examples. Whereas Brenda Wilson, 74, departed this life September 4th, 2001, she leaves behind a circle of friends, family, and associates. In her passing, she precedes her beloved husband of 52 years and their beloved daughter, Julie, and a city that is grateful for her and a city of pet beneficiaries who grieve her passing. Now, therefore, I, Aaliyah Gaskins, on behalf of Justin M. Wilson, the mayor of the city of Alexandria, and on behalf of the Alexandria City Council, do hereby recognize the many contributions to this community by Brenda S. Wilson. And in the city of Alexandria, I call observance to the attention of all of our citizens, and in doing so, I declare July 23rd as Garden Day in Alexandria, in honor of the late Brenda S. Wilson, attendant to today's garden dedication. In witness thereof, I here have set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Alexandria to be affixed this 23rd day of July. Thank you.
Yes. All right.
Thank you.
Hello again, everyone. So here comes the moment we've all been waiting for. Not only a great celebration to Brenda, but to anyone who has the opportunity to come by and enjoy these beautiful gardens. So with the snip of these scissors, these gardens will forever be known Brenda Wilson Memorial Gardens. Julie?
Here we go. 1, 2.
Yay! Blessings to all who come to enjoy and take a moment to take peace in these beautiful gardens.
It is my great privilege to ask a blessing upon these gardens. Before that, I just wanted to share with you the purpose here for so much good work that is done for the dogs, the cats here in Alexandria. Back in 1972, a lady by the name of Marlene in Louisville, Kentucky was supposed to do a blessing of the animals. And what she did, she wrote a letter to Mother Teresa in Calcutta. and asked if she could simply give a little bit of advice. Mother Teresa sent a handwritten note back to her, and that note read, "Animals also are created by the same hand of God which created us. As we are gifted with intelligence which the animals lack, it is our duty to protect them and promote their well-being. We owe it to them as they serve with such loyalty." Today we want to ask God for a special blessing upon these gardens and upon this building. In the Old Testament, in the book of Ecclesiastes, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, and a time to plant. Would you simply bow your heads? Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity. We thank you for the kindness that has been shown. We thank you for the wonderful generosity. And God, we just simply ask that all those that are entertained as stewards to take care of this beautiful gardens, God, they will realize what a beautiful and what an entertaining and what a blessing it is to so many who will come here, sometimes with heavy hearts, Heavenly Father. And we just ask now that they'll be lifted by the kindness shown today. We ask this in the precious name of Jesus, and all God's people said, amen. Amen.
Over here, when you first came in, we had a sign-in sheet. I hope that you all please sign the register when you came in. We also have little stones. If you would like to place your name on a stone, you can then, when you take a look at the gardens, place it somewhere in the garden so that you're always have a piece or a memory here in the gardens with us. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and give my closing remarks. And I would like to say a few thank yous. Of course, I would like to thank the Animal Welfare League of Alexandria, Stella, Michelle. Michelle has been out here watering her heart out every day. Julie, are you watering? Am I watering? What time's watering? When are we watering? So I very much appreciate you keeping my flocks alive. This is my Aunt Peggy right here. You heard from her earlier about it being an organic garden. We spoke multiple times, sometimes a day, about the garden and placement and plants. And, I just thank you so much for all of your advice and guidance. I really appreciate it. Merrifield Garden Center, yes. Merrifield Garden Center, they have been wonderful. I'll call them the night before or an hour. I need a truck of plants and they will show up. So I really appreciate them. Danny, thank you. I would like to thank the Winkler Painting Company. They're located here in Old Town. Her husband, it was his company, and she is now running the company, and she's lovely, Christina. And again, anytime I called and I needed something painted, she got her painters right over. There are some business cards here. If you need painting services, highly recommend her. The government services for the city of Alexandria, really Michelle, she worked with them hand in hand. We had some signs that went a little bit sideways and replacement of signs and things like that, lights, and they got out and were able to accomplish all of it. Avanza Landscaping, so they came and did all of the weeding. They also did quite a bit of additional things like mulching and pruning, so I thank them as well. We would also like to thank Frankie's Tree Care. They came out and took care of all of the trees, elevated the trees, cut the dead wood out. I would like to thank the Nova Exterior Cleaning. That would be Harry. He did all of the power washing. Again, he's wonderful. You call him, he shows up. FedEx Fairfax, I think I'm part of the family now with all the printing that I do. So I appreciate all that they have done for us. Pablo, our photographer, he's hung through every event. He's wonderful. He's for hire. So if you have any special events, please let him know. We have Lana's wood-fired pizza. So you're probably like, what's the deal with the pizza? What's going on, Julie? So let me grab one thing. So, if you know my mother, for any celebration, any occasion, especially birthdays, what did she want to do? She wanted a pizza party. She wanted a pizza party, period, and that's what she wanted. And so I thought, how could I truly honor her with the pizza party? I thought, we're not eating hot pizzas under this tent, don't worry. But the shelter can. So the pizza company, Lena's Wood-Fired Pizza, would like to give you a pizza party for your staff, for your volunteers, for 60 people, 60. So this is for you. Vera Studio, that is the lady who did the beautiful watercolor invitation, all of the prints that we have with the watercolor. She hand drew all of the flowers in watercolor, and she just did an amazing job. So I appreciate her. Now we get to the fun folks. My cousin Brooke, give a wave. He caught wind of the project, and I was so thankful for you to come and help us and move stones and water, and I thank you. I thank you very much. Sue King, she's a volunteer here at the shelter. She is watching online, so hi Sue. She's tending her gardens up north. I appreciate, she had some amazing tools. She came in here and just plowed through this flower bed with weeds. It was incredible. Dana, give a wave, Dana, in the back. Dana, she was amazing plowing this side of the flower bed, taking care of all of the weeds. And Dana and I are also personal friends as well. She's a volunteer here at the shelter. Tio is someone who is really great, because if you need someone, you put one phone call in and he, what do you need, Julie? Where do I need to be? And he shows up with his truck. So he and his brother and the son came, and they did quite a few things for us here. Pickups, deliveries, waterings, things like that. And he's offered to continue with waterings, which will work out. And then, of course, my Encore girls, Brianna and Callie. Where's Brianna? Oh, she's in the back. Brianna and Callie. Really, I mean, I have to tell you that things would not be as smooth as they are if it weren't for these two girls. And if you know me, you know that that is exactly the truth. I can't do everything by myself, and I'm so thankful. Anything I say to Callie, as crazy as it may sound straight out the gate, she's like, okay, no problem. And she does it. I don't know how, but anyway, so I greatly appreciate you. I'd like to thank Monty for coming. I would like to thank Ben. It was a wonderful cry. Michelle, Stella. This is Grace. She's with the local newspaper, so she's going to be covering the event. Roseanne, Mom loved you to pieces, you and Mike, and I so appreciate for you to come to all of our events and participate. It would mean the world to Mom. I'd like to thank Tom. He's doing our live stream so everybody can see at home. And Pastor Wood, you've been the beacon through this whole thing, and I greatly appreciate absolutely everything that you've done, and you've been such a comfort, really comfort, so I appreciate that. So, and I appreciate all of you for coming today and sitting through the heat and honoring my mom and seeing the gardens. It means a lot to myself and my father, so I appreciate that. Now, here we go. On with the birthday celebration, Roseanne.
Julie would like a happy birthday for Brenda. But Julie doesn't know it. I'm going to make her stand right here and sing it with me.
I'll sing. I won't sing well, but I'll sing.
And there's a musical background, so it's going to be loud, so you can all sing along really loudly. The louder, the better.
Yeah. Let's see. Cue music.
Maybe? Louder the better. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brenda. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay, so for birthday, what would my mom like? She would like something sweet. And because it's a little hot, I'm sure you'd like something cold, right? So something that my mom always enjoyed doing with my dad, we always did as a family. Push it back. There we go. How's that? So we would always go to the ice cream parlor as a family. And Mom always liked to get scoops and, you know, which scoop are you going to get? And anyway, so why not, on a nice hot day, have a little bit of ice cream? So help yourself. Help yourself. If you want one ice cream, great. If you want two, go for it. Three, why not? Have a good time. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I would like to say one last thing. We do have a takeaway gift that I would love for you to have. So these pencils were actually made in Turkey and shipped here, thankfully, in time for our event. So you write the you use your pencil as you normally would, and then once you get down to like a little stub, stick it in a pot and it'll grow flowers. So inside it will grow zinnias, which we have in our flower garden here. So have a pencil, have one, two, or three. Enjoy.
Julie, can I have you do a mock-up of the cut again? If you grab the ribbon with both, like 2 fingers and then... Oh, that's great. Hold on. And then looking down and doing it kind of... Beautiful. We got it. Perfect. Good. Thank you. Don't go into the sun, dude. Come out of the sun. Alright, 1 second.
I can step up my shoe game.
1 second. Hopefully I'm not calling it.
That's fine. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I had a birthday party. I did a 1-year-old birthday party. I did it more for the parents. That was probably really hard, so that's how it's 10 now. Yes.
bottom behind you.
Did you have an ice cream? I was going to say.
To the ice cream. I guess we share the same birthday. Today's my birthday. So we share the same birthday. I'll get you ice cream.
For yourself.
Well, I'm going to do that.
For those that are watching us online, Julie is going to actually speak to you all in a second, and she's going to probably show you a little bit around the garden. So if you stay by, we should have her momentarily. This is so awesome. This is really nice, really. Really? Okay, so let me put your mic back on. Start over, sorry.
Hi everyone, I wanted to introduce you to the woodlands. This is our area that is woodsy, nature-like. We have a cute squirrel bench for volunteers when they're walking the dogs just to come up and have a seat. We've got some squirrel nesters so they can move in there and make their little nests. We have some really cute stepping stones. These are more of like your traditional American or climate. We have a lot of azaleas in this region in Northern Virginia. I love my coral bells, but they don't love the sun, so we're going to have to see how long the coral bells last. But I think we're okay kind of stepping stones over because it's more partial sun. We've got, so the azaleas are encore azaleas. So after encore, and we have little false hollies, we have the junipers, liriope, but I just love this pine tree. I think it's so pretty, and we have our gorgeous magnolia. And then our fox. My dad loves the fox. That's his little 2 cents. He loves that fox. And then we come down here, and this was the butterfly bush that was at the front gate that we rescued. So we're fingers crossed she's gonna hold on tight. Fingers crossed. We have our sign. So now we're moving into the Pollinator's garden. So we have a lot of our flock, a lot of the butterfly bush. Just a beautiful little green maple, a red maple. We have our bee house where the bees go to live. Little a B&B, if you would. We have a lot of pollinator plants. A lot of pollinator plants. I love these, the purple. I think they're so pretty. And then we come down here and we have the beautiful sunflowers. I love the sunflowers. I love the petunias, and I like mixing all the colors. There's so many different colors. So all of these are pollinator. All down here are also pollinator. Beautiful marigolds here with the little spruce. And then we have our tall lilies, our hedge line, and this is where we released ladybugs. We've got the catmint. Then we start with our strong hedge line and our nandinas. I love these little peppermint sticks. So these are called peppermint sticks. Love those. Little pink flowers. Painted. And then over here, again, these are our nandinas. This is where the rabbits live. We also have some praying mantis. And we have down here my nice lemon lime nandinas. I love the lemon lime. So I saw them at the nursery and I've got to have them. Nope, we do that. Pass this off right here. I can't leave that there. Okay. Then we have the marigolds. And now here we are in the tropical garden. So we've got the red top hibiscus. Back. So you can see them over top of the picnic table area for the staff to have their lunch. We did a new path here, the wooden path. And then next to it is kind of tucked away inside, but it's the berry patch. So we've got the blueberry, and then we've got a little pathway. So, you know, if you work here, you can kind of go in, get a little snack, take it over to the picnic table area. And then down here is we have the rose garden. We have the rose garden. The pretty rose garden. We've got the beautiful crepe myrtle in the back. The roses are knockout roses, so they're low maintenance. They're kind of a coral color. Cute little spruce at the entryway, lamb's ear, soft point, you know, with the pointy roses. And move into the aviary. So this is for the birds, the migrating birds, the local birds. The Stephanophis is going to grow up and over the gazebo, and it actually was the flower in my mother's bridal bouquet. So I thought that was a lovely little touch. We have a feeder, but also all of the hollies and the shrubs and trees all will have berries that the birds will enjoy eating. And then we have our 2 nesters. So in case a migrating bird would like a layover, we have 2 nesters. So those are the gardens. My mom's gardens. Brenda S. Memorial Gardens. It's official now.